Hi there folks, Andrea Cox here with AndreaCox.com. I am so excited that you're here with me today because I am going to teach you something that I've used in my life for years, and now I feel that you guys are ready to learn it too. I'm going to create a salad for you using basically the 6 tastes so you don't really overeat or feel deprived at the end of a salad meal. The 6 tastes, I think, stems from Ayurvedic principles, and it's really about using the 6 tastes: sweet, salty, sour, astringent, bitter, and I believe pungent. So those 6 tastes, when combined in any meal, not just a salad, really make it easier for you not to feel like, oh, I need that dessert or I need this. It makes you feel satisfied. And I learned this years ago when I had an eating disorder and I went to see an Ayurvedic doctor that had studied in India for years, and he was 3rd generation, amazing man. He taught me this years ago, and quite honestly, whenever I employ these practices in my meal, even just in a salad, I never feel the need for extra at the end of a meal. So we're going to get started, and this is going to be funny because we're just using what I have in my fridge. So I pulled a couple things out. We might use them all, we might not. So let's see where it goes. So what I have here, I've got some romaine lettuce. I've got some arugula for, I think, the bitter. Arugula is very bitter. I've got some kelp granules for the salty. I have got some garlic for the pungent. I'm going to use garlic for the pungent. And for the astringent, I'm going to use a little bit of dill I have left over. I hate wasting, so we're going to try to cut the top of this dill off. And for the sweet, I might throw in a couple medjool dates at the end. I might just use a few drops of stevia, who knows. Basically, that's it. For the sour, I'm going to use sauerkraut. And the sauerkraut is by Rejuvenative Foods. They donated this to me, and I love Rejuvenative Foods. And it's their salt-free dill. So here we go. I'm just going to use what I have. I'm going to start out with some spinach. I always like to have spinach in my salads. And we'll use this, we'll recycle and use this as a kind of a dumpster over there. I'm going to grab a little bit of that arugula. This is from Susie's Farm. Normally I don't like to use plastic, but when I pick these up at the farmer's market, they give you these plastic bags to put this in, and quite honestly, it keeps all week in the fridge. So it's the only way I like to use those greens. Just going to kind of mix that in. God, I love this. There's nothing more gratifying than using what you have in your fridge. I get so much joy out of it. It's really odd. I'm going to throw in some sunflower sprouts. So full of enzymes. I'm going to eat this whole salad myself, by the way. Whole mixing bowl full. Every night. Whole entire mixing bowl full. Why? Because I feel like it. Put a little baby romaine in there. Yum. Even going to take off a few pieces of the outer leaf of the larger romaine. I hope you don't see my mess. I hope my cameraman is hiding the mess that you don't see beyond this point. I think he knows me well enough to do that by now. So I'm going to take just a few of these romaine lettuce leaves. I'm just going to rip them up. My hands are clean. Just gonna rip them up. Because, that's what food's about, using your hands, putting some love into it. Not just being like, oh, we have to measure and chop and be so robotic. Nobody likes that. Okay, so I know I've been robotic for quite a long time, but I'm not anymore. Raw food will change that. So I'm going to use just some cucumbers. I like to peel my cucumbers. These are amazing peelers from Williams-Sonoma. Just going to do a little. Cucumber's very cooling. It's a very cooling vegetable. We love this. Got my handy dandy shun knives here. I'm gonna chop a little cucumber. And oh my God, my new favorite thing to put in a salad. You ready for this? Raw eggplant. Yeah, I said raw eggplant. Now I like eggplant two ways. I love to slice eggplant really thin, usually after peeling it, which I'm gonna do now. I'm telling you, these peelers are amazing. They work for mangoes, they work for eggplants. They're amazing. I like to peel it and then slice it really thin and pour a homemade tomato sauce, like a marinara over it, with garlic, and just eat it, and yum, and just olive oil, and just drench in my loveliness. Or I like to peel it in my salads. It takes on just a really meaty taste. Like you've got chicken on there that's healthy or something, you know? I really, really enjoy it. So I'm gonna do that. I like to do it also with squash. I'm just gonna set that aside. And then for my pungent, I'm gonna use garlic, but I actually have a friend stopping by first, and I don't want him to smell my garlic on my hands and on my breath. Not that I like him or anything, but you know, we don't want to smell like garlic when he gets here. So I'm gonna chop up some okra. I have a few odds and ends, some stems of squash blossoms and some okra. And like I said, let's just use what we have. I mean, it's all about using what we have. I love okra because, like I said before, it's so mucilage, like aloe, that it's really good for your gut. It's like awesome for your gut. Spectacular for the gut. We're just gonna kind of mix it, you know, just mix this loveliness up in here. Yum. Food is so healing if it's eaten with love. I think I told you on another video, I think I need to do a video about this. I've always, having a former eating disorder, I've always been very private about my food time, not wanting to eat around others. And lately I feel like something's missing if I'm not eating around someone else. And that took a lot to change. It took literally going through something that made me not want to be alone so much that I was forced to invite others in. So, okay, I'm just gonna pull, because this is like the rest of the dill, and we're almost to the end. So I'm just gonna chop some dill off and just kind of, dill is so good for your digestion. Oh my God. If you smell this, I wish we had smelled. My cameraman's gonna smell this, because this is seriously like scratch and sniff YouTube is what we need, really. It's that good. Now I am going to put a few, leave these here, throw these out. I'll be back. I'm gonna grab some tomatoes. Be right back.
That in one plastic bag with some beautiful stuff around. Can you throw it in the sink?
I can do better than that. Okay, so I got the tomatoes, and I'm gonna take a few tomatoes, and I think this is gonna be our sour, because this is actually really, these tomatoes are really sour. I had some last night, and they're actually the night before last, and they're really amazing. They are sour. I'm just gonna cut a few of those. And then I think for the sweet, I'm gonna just chop up one medjool date and kind of mix it in for the yumminess. But before that, a little bit for our salty. Yum! Yum! So incredibly beautiful. I think I mentioned on Facebook the other day, these little tomatoes that are black on the outside that I get from the farmer's market at Susie's Farm, they're actually extremely high ORAC value. They're like a blueberry. So don't skip over these little tomatoes you see that are black. They've got the same type of antioxidant as blueberries. So don't be fooled by the black tomato. You want the black tomato. Okay, yum yum. I'm gonna chop up one more tomato on there. Don't you love how I never use a cutting board? I lay it out and then I just like want to cut myself. I think it's funny. I like using my hands. I don't even like to use the scissors. Or the knife rather. Okay, so that's it. If I had some edible flowers, I would put that on there. I will add some raw sauerkraut with dill, kind of keeping with the dill theme we have. And so this is what I've done. I've got tomatoes for the sour. For the sweet, I'm gonna chop up a medjool date. For the, I think this is the pungent, I'm going to use the, no, this is the sour. The sauerkraut is the sour. For the pungent, I'm gonna just do a little bit of garlic. And the salty, we use some kelp, and you know, you've got an amazing bitter. We had the arugula for the bitter, and you've got an amazing salad that's super satisfying. There's not a lot of ingredients here. I mean, you really don't count greens as an ingredient. I like to always stay like 7 or under in the ingredients, really around 5. So we've just got eggplant, tomatoes, okra, dill, sauerkraut, cucumber, and dates. 7 ingredients, we're good. If I add garlic, it'll be 8. Who cares? No one's counting. And that's it. So yummy. And everything we had in the fridge. We didn't have to go to the store. We didn't have to do anything like that. So enjoy, people. Use what you have. Try to get the 6 tastes in so you're not overeating. And you know, post below your recipes that you love to make for yourself that involve the 6 tastes. And hit the like button if you like this, and subscribe, why don't ya? I get my hands dirty for you. See ya, be well.